Something remarkable is happening in one of the most unexpected places on Earth, the Dead Sea. Known for being the lowest point on the planet and a symbol of lifelessness, the Dead Sea has baffled scientists and amazed believers as a series of unexplainable phenomena unfold. This body of water, where nothing should survive, is now becoming a place of life. For thousands of years, the Dead Sea has been a land of extremes, its salinity so high that no fish can swim in it, its shores so barren that no vegetation can grow. For generations, it has stood as a stark reminder of judgment and desolation, earning its name as the Dead Sea. But what if this symbol of death is now becoming something much greater? What if this transformation is not just a natural anomaly but something deeply spiritual, a sign that an ancient prophecy is coming true? The changes we're about to explore aren't just random. They carry a message for you, for the world, and for what's to come. These changes challenge our understanding of what's possible and remind us of something much greater at work. Before we dive into this astonishing story, take a moment to reflect. Could what's happening at the Dead Sea be part of something far bigger than we imagine? What if this miracle is meant to inspire us, challenge us, and restore our hope? Keep watching, because what you're about to discover could change the way you see not only the Dead Sea but your own life. The Dead Sea, situated between Israel, Jordan, and Palestine, is one of the most iconic and mysterious places on Earth. It's more than 430 meters below sea level, making it the lowest point on the planet. Its waters are almost 10 times saltier than the ocean, creating a harsh and inhospitable environment for life. Unlike other bodies of water that teem with fish, plants, and microorganisms, the Dead Sea appears lifeless, its surface heavy with salt crystals that shimmer under the sun. But the story of the Dead Sea didn't begin in desolation. Thousands of years ago, this area was part of a lush and fertile valley, described in the Bible as well-watered, like the garden of the Lord. It was a place of abundance, teeming with life and beauty. The Bible tells us that this land was so desirable that Lot, the nephew of Abraham, chose it for his home. However, this paradise was short-lived. The valley became home to the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, whose wickedness brought about their destruction. According to the book of Genesis, God rained fire and brimstone upon these cities, reducing them to ash and transforming the once fertile valley into a barren wasteland. The Dead Sea became a physical symbol of judgment, a stark reminder of the consequences of turning away from righteousness. For centuries, the Dead Sea has stood as a testament to this history. Its lifeless waters and desolate shores have been a source of fascination for travelers, scientists, and theologians alike. And yet, for all its stark beauty, it has always carried the weight of its name, the Dead Sea, a place where life could not exist. Or so we thought. In recent years, something extraordinary has been happening at the Dead Sea. What was once thought to be a static, unchanging body of water is now undergoing a transformation that no one could have predicted. Large sinkholes have begun appearing along its shores. Massive cavities formed when underground salt layers dissolve. These sinkholes are not uncommon in geological terms, but what makes them extraordinary is what's inside them. Instead of being barren, many of these sinkholes are filling with fresh water. Even more astonishing, these freshwater pools are becoming ecosystems of their own. Fish have been spotted swimming in the waters, vegetation is growing along the edges, and birds are flocking to the area. These pools, which should be inhospitable due to their proximity to the salty Dead Sea, are instead teeming with life. Scientists have been studying this phenomenon, trying to understand how and why it's happening. They've discovered that freshwater springs beneath the Dead Sea are bubbling up through the sinkholes, diluting the salt and creating conditions where life can thrive. But while science can explain parts of this process, it cannot answer the bigger questions. Why now? Why here? And what does it mean? In 2011, a team of divers made a groundbreaking discovery at the bottom of the Dead Sea. They found large craters, some as wide as 15 meters, releasing streams of freshwater. These underwater springs were previously unknown, and their impact on the Dead Sea ecosystem is still being studied. Scientists have observed that these springs are slowly changing the chemical makeup of the water, diluting its salinity in localized areas and allowing small ecosystems to form. But these findings only deepen the mystery. The freshwater springs seem to be growing in activity, and the number of sinkholes around the Dead Sea has increased dramatically in the last decade. Some areas that were once solid ground are now riddled with sinkholes, creating a dynamic and unstable landscape. While some see these changes as a natural geological process, others believe they point to something far greater. For believers, these events are a fulfillment of biblical prophecy, a sign that the words written thousands of years ago are coming to life in our time point. One of the most remarkable prophecies about the Dead Sea is found in the book of Ezekiel. Writing over 2,600 years ago, the prophet Ezekiel described a vision in which water flowed from the temple in Jerusalem and into the Dead Sea. This water, he said, would transform the sea, turning its salty waters fresh and filling it with life. Fishermen, he wrote, would one day stand along its shores, casting their nets and catching fish of every kind. At the time Ezekiel wrote these words, such a vision would have seemed impossible. The Dead Sea was as lifeless then as it is today. Yet his prophecy described in vivid detail a transformation that is now beginning to unfold. Freshwater is flowing into the Dead Sea, fish are swimming in its pools, and the once barren shores are showing signs of greenery. The parallels between Ezekiel's vision and the changes happening today are striking. Could this be the fulfillment of his prophecy? Are we witnessing the beginning of something extraordinary, something that was foretold thousands of years ago? The transformation of the Dead Sea is more than just a scientific or geological event. It's a profound spiritual message, a reminder that nothing is beyond restoration. The Dead Sea, long a symbol of judgment and death, is becoming a place of life and renewal. And just as God is restoring this lifeless place, He can restore our lives as well. Think about your own life. Have you ever felt like the Dead Sea, dry, barren, and lifeless? These changes remind us that no matter how broken we may feel, restoration is always possible. God specializes in bringing life where there is death, hope where there is despair, and beauty where there is brokenness. The Bible speaks not only of the restoration of the Dead Sea, but of the restoration of all creation. In Revelation 22, we read about the river of life, flowing from the throne of God and bringing healing to the nations. This river is a promise of ultimate restoration, a time when all things will be made new. Could what's happening at the Dead Sea be a glimpse of this future? A reminder that God's promises are real, and His work is already underway. The Dead Sea coming back to life is more than a story, it's a sign. A sign that God's work isn't finished. He is still restoring, still healing, still bringing life where there was none. If this story has inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it. Let others know that no matter how lifeless their circumstances may seem, renewal is possible. Take this as a reminder that no matter how low we feel, God can bring us back to life, just as He is doing with the Dead Sea.